Tēnā koutou katoa. No mai, haere mai. Welcome to the session with the team from Deloitte. Ko tēnei tāku mihi, ki ngā mana whenua o te rohi nei, ko ngā tuahu riri. Ka mihi hoki o ki ngā tohu o te rohi nei. Hi, my name's Dave. I'm a career consultant at UC Careers. We can help you with all things career related, from deciding what your dream job might be, to helping you succeed in securing employment, both while you're studying and when you've finished your degree. We've got 40 minutes today for the presentation from Deloitte, and we'll have 10 minutes for questions after that. But please feel free to pop any questions into the chat as they come up. I'm looking forward to hearing all about Deloitte, so welcome to Samantha and the team, and thanks for being here today.
Thank you, Dave, for that introduction. We're really excited to be presenting to the students at Canterbury for our Law Virtual Expo. So we will be covering various business units that we have, and so you'll hear from representatives from us at Deloitte, and also I will be going through our recruitment cycle as well. And as mentioned, there will be an opportunity to ask questions at the end. I will cover off the recruitment questions and anything about applications, and my colleagues from our business units will be able to talk more in depth about the work that they do within their respective business units. So these are the representatives on today's call. I will get my colleagues to introduce themselves later from our business units, but first I will introduce myself, and I will also get my colleagues Millie and Samara to introduce themselves too, and then we'll go into the business units. So my name's Sam, and I am the graduate recruiter here at Deloitte. My role involves recruiting all grads and interns across all our offices within New Zealand. So that involves obviously working with you all throughout March at universities, reviewing your applications, and also I take part in your intern and graduate induction as well. So that's just a bit about me and what I do. And I also just want to mention that if you are wanting to have more in-depth information about what we do at Deloitte and our business units, we are hosting a virtual open day tomorrow. You can sign up for this via our website. I will put the link into the chat on the duration of this call. And that's just to ask more questions to the business units. Myself and my colleague Samara will be on these calls as well, just to answer any more recruitment questions that you may have. So that's just a bit about me. I'm just going to pass over now to Millie.
Hello, I'm Millie. I am the junior advisor in the People and Performance team here in Christchurch. I'm helping Sam and Samara this year with a bit of the intern and grad, I suppose, recruitment. And I suppose if you're lucky enough to get a job, I also facilitate the entire intern and grad program here in Christchurch as well. So yeah, that's me.
Cool. Samara?
Hi everybody, my name is Samara, obviously. I just support Sam with all grad and intern recruitment stuff. So it's nice to see so many of you on the call today. I did not go to the University of Canterbury, so I cannot talk about being an alumni from there. However, Sam will introduce some people from our team who have been there, and any questions that you have throughout, please put them into the chat box and myself or Millie will answer them for you. So just hope you enjoy the presentation. Thanks so much, Sam.
Cool, thank you, Samara. Cool. So I will go to our next slide. Cool. So who is Deloitte? So this is just a bit of an overview about Deloitte as a whole. So we are in 150 countries. We do have offices throughout the entire country. So when applying for your intern or grad role, you can apply to a location different to where you are from. Appreciate that some of you you'll be studying in Christchurch, some of you may be from Auckland or Wellington. So there's lots of options to work in different offices throughout New Zealand. We have over 1,500 employees and we are growing. Our grad cohort seems to get bigger every year, which is really exciting and means that there's just more opportunities throughout our offices. We have over 145 partners, over 80 hours of learning and development opportunities. So these are opportunities without kind of outside of your actual role as well. So opportunities for you to upskill as well and help you throughout your career and progression at Deloitte. We also have 29 industry sectors that we work across. And as an intern and a grad, you do have one-to-one mentor support. And that's from day one. You are assigned a buddy and someone who has been through a similar journey to what you will be going to. So who is able to guide you through that and answer any questions that you have. We work with over 18,000 clients, and we do offer qualifications and we do fund that. So for those of you that are interested in a career in tax, coming from a law background, we do fund your professional studies, and depending on other business units, depending on what you carry out in your role, will determine whether that's funded as well. So that's all up to the business and what sort of work you'll be carrying out within your role. And also, if I appreciate there'll be some people who are also doing accounting alongside their law degree. We do also fund your chartered accountancy, especially if you're going into our private and audit teams. Also within our risk advisory team, there are some opportunities for accountants as well. And we do offer also volunteering and pro bono time. My colleague Millie facilitated a volunteer day at our in Christchurch for our internship program at the end of last year. So that's just an example of some of the work that we do. And we also do offer secondment opportunities. Perhaps not right now, but looking more optimistic, hopefully in the future, to be able to start doing that again. So that's just a bit about who Deloitte is. And this is a bit about our business units. So I do have a few colleagues of mine on the call today who are from our tax, corporate finance and consulting business units, who will be able to speak more to what sort of work they do. I'll just get Molly to start off discussing her business unit and the sort of work she carries out.
Oh, hi everyone. So I am from the consulting business unit. Normally when you kind of get asked what you do as a consultant, it's a bit of a funny question. I think what we do is kind of a range of different things. A lot of us call us kind of problem solvers for different businesses. So kind of what normally happens is a business might face a problem, or there might be kind of a gap of capabilities within the organisation. So we kind of go in there and help them problem solve, or sometimes fill and bridge those gaps. I guess it also depends on, or for instance, looking at the work that I've done in the Christchurch office, all of the projects that I've been on so far have been very different and very varied. Especially in the South Island, a lot of the clients that I've done work for instance, have been in the agri sector, some public sector work, and also with banks. We do spend a lot of time on site with our clients. So for instance, one of the clients I've been working with, I think I spent a good 8 months working over in their offices. So it's really awesome. You get to see how a lot of different organisations work. You get to meet lots of clients, and you get to familiarise yourself with a large range of different industries. That's it from me. Is there anything else, Samantha, you want me to touch on? Or?
No, that was really good. Thank you, Molly. And just to mention, appreciate that we said we'll cover questions at the end. I'll also do questions at the end of this, so you can ask my colleagues questions about more specific to their business units as well, and I'll cover off some recruitment questions at the end. So thank you so much, Molly, for that. That was a really good overview. And next I will have John.
Cool, thanks, Samantha. My name is John. I am an analyst in our consulting office here in Christchurch as well. I'm actually one of the new grads here. I am part of the 2022 cohort, but joined in November with an early start. And before that, I interned over the summer as well. I think Molly did a great job of covering off what we do. I don't think it's something that we can put in all of the different things that we do. It's quite hard to define into one sentence. But what term that I like to use often is that we're almost like a doctor for businesses, in that we diagnose what any issue or problem that they might have. Sometimes it starts as a diagnosis. Sometimes they might have their own resources to, I guess, handle this problem, but often we go in there, we often implement solutions, systems as well that help resolve those solutions, but also give them a view of what their future state will look like, what they want to work towards in the future as well. I'm really enjoying it, even with the law background. Some people might say it's not quite directly related, but I think a lot of the analytical skills, a lot of the reading that you do at law, how you structure your thinking, it's really important and valuable. I find it that I'm using that quite often during my work as well. So definitely something that I encourage everyone to pursue.
Oh, thank you so much for that, John. That's really good. Yeah, oversight of what you do, and also great that you just recently joined us as well, and also can speak from being from a law background as well, having gone into consulting. Next, I'll get Chris to from our corporate finance team just to give an overview of the work he carries out.
Thanks, Sam. Hey guys. So yeah, I'm Chris and I'm an analyst in the corporate finance team up in Auckland, but joined back in 2020. So this is sort of the start of my third year with the firm after studying down at UC for about 4 years, and then moved up to the Auckland office to join the corporate finance team. So just a bit about corporate finance. We've got about 90 people in Deloitte New Zealand across sort of Auckland, Wellington, Christchurch and Hamilton offices in the corporate finance team, and then it's sort of about 120 across the wider financial advisory services. That also includes areas like restructuring and actuarial and insurance advisory as well. And I guess essentially the corporate finance team, most of what we do at Deloitte, we're advising clients, both large and small, particularly shareholders, management teams and board of directors, and also investment funds. And it's typically in connection to a transaction. So typically our services are sort of lead M&A or mergers and acquisitions advisory. So advising those shareholder groups, founders of companies, helping them sell their business, and also advising potential acquirers, providing due diligence services, whether that be sort of financial, commercial, operational, and also work quite closely with our tax colleagues in those due diligence engagements, and then also providing other services like valuation, modelling, and then some of the wider services around coming in when there might be business distress and helping in that restructuring area. So quite a wide variety of services there, and you're happy to answer any questions that come up.
Oh, thank you so much for that, Chris. That was a really great overview of corporate finance. And now I'll ask my colleague Sophia to speak about tax.
So we've got me and Kerry on the call. So Kerry's just going to kick us off and then I'll chip in afterwards.
Cool. Yeah, so I'm Kerry. This is my third year at Deloitte. So I actually started out as an intern in the summer of 2017 and 2018 while I was studying at Canterbury. So in tax, we've got kind of two parts to our job. So we have the compliance side, which is more of your standard kind of tax return or what you'd think of when you think of tax work. And then we've got our consulting side of the business. So for consulting, you get a whole range of questions crop up, and it's a lot of problem solving for clients. I guess the tax landscape changes quite a lot depending on who's in government, and then obviously with COVID as well. So there's a lot of new work that comes in. So it's quite fun. You do get a range of jobs and also a range of clients, anywhere from like your individuals with high net wealth through to your big multinationals. So there's a good amount of different work that comes through, and every day is pretty different. We also have the opportunity to specialise in certain areas of tax, and Sophia's going to talk a little bit about this.
Yeah, so we've got kind of probably 4 main kind of specialist areas in tax in Christchurch. So we've got employment taxes, which do like FBT and payroll. We've got GES, which, as Kerry mentioned, is high net worth individuals. And then we've got indirect taxes such as GST and the research and development tax incentive. So I'll just speak to all of them a little bit. So FBT and payroll are kind of more like reviews where they'll go into businesses and check that all the FBT calcs and employee benefits and stuff are being treated correctly. And they also deal with a lot of like the COVID support packages that are happening at the moment. GES is high net worth individuals, and these people will be like living abroad or tax resident in multiple different jurisdictions, and we'll go in and provide them with like tax advice and do their tax returns and stuff like that. And then there's the GST and R&D team, which I'm in both of those ones, as well as just doing normal tax. So the GST team, we go and do like GST reviews, and we also kind of deal with lots of random issues that crop up, often to do with property transactions, because it's like a really specialist kind of area. And then there's the research and development tax incentive, which was introduced by Labor a wee while ago. So they give like 15% tax back to their clients, and we go in and interview their scientists and engineers and stuff and go and write about all their projects. So yeah, that's probably quite a in-depth overview, but that's tax in Christchurch.
Oh, thank you so much for that. It was a really great overview of tax. I was just wondering whether any of the students have any questions at this stage. And if you do, can you please just put it into our chat function?
There have been no questions yet, Sam, just so you know, so you can continue if you'd like to. I'll answer them along the way, or we can always talk about them at the end.
Cool, thank you. Great, I'm just going to go into our next slide then and start talking about our recruitment process. And if you do have any questions at the end for my colleagues, or they may want to add some more, just in terms of time, we can have that opportunity at the end. Cool. So, as I mentioned before, we do have our virtual open day this coming Friday, so tomorrow. So if you are interested in going along to that, it is you are able to sign up to that on our website. I will post a link, as I said, later on in this session, but you can just go to our graduate section of our Deloitte New Zealand website under how to apply. And we will be presenting on each of our business units throughout the day. So they're about 15 minutes long, the sessions, and we have them designated to each business unit. And you also have the opportunity to ask questions at the end. And also myself or Samara will be on each of the calls just to cover any recruitment specific questions as well. You may find after this call, after you've thought about things, you may have a few more questions as well. So this is what our grad website looks like. On our grad website, you can find more information about our business units, what we do, life as a graduate. You can see some grad stories, some hints and tips about our current grads and their experiences. And we also have a Find Your Fit quiz. If you are unsure, I appreciate that your law students, if you are unsure about what you want to do, what business units you can apply to, you can put through kind of what your academic pathway is, and then it will generate business units that you are eligible to apply for, and then a bit more information about those business units. And we also have a chatbot on our website as well, that if you do have any questions, that chatbot is able to answer those. So this is our recruitment process. So the first stage is, I definitely recommend do your research. If you are successful in getting through the later stages of the recruitment process, this will be fundamental. Just clear motivation as to why you want to career at Deloitte and why you want to work in a specific business unit, and perhaps the office you want to go into as well. And it's just also just to ensure you are best prepared, and it will shape your cover letter as well. So we do ask when you apply, you do need to submit your CV, cover letter and academic record. For your CV, please ensure that it is, you have thoroughly gone through it, and that it is an opportunity for you to sell yourself. So putting all relevant work experience and information about what you study, and also when you are graduating, is super helpful for us as well, to know what role, to know when you're able to start as a grad, because our grad roles are to start next February, so they're for final year students, and our internship roles are for students in their second to last year of their studies. And within your cover letter, just clear motivation as to why you're wanting to apply for a role with us, anything relevant that you think you can put on it to sell yourself. And also, if you are attending the open day tomorrow, that's something quite good to add to your cover letter, just to show your motivation for a career at Deloitte. So those are the three things we ask for. And even though you may have read it lots of times, perhaps getting a friend or a family member to proofread it is always quite helpful as well. Academic transcripts, we ask if you can please submit that in one document, and ideally a PDF format. Appreciate that a lot of you are current students, so you won't have finished your studies. So just if you can download a copy, even if it's an unofficial one, from your university portal, and submit that. And as long as it is clearly showing your name, your student number, just anything relevant that would normally be on your academic transcript, and that matches up to your other details. And then once you have that ready, you apply via our careers site. So we are advertising our roles on the 7th of March, which is this coming Monday. We are reviewing applications as they come in, so recommend you do apply at your earliest convenience. And this will be via our Deloitte Graduate New Zealand website. We also work with Grad New Zealand, and it will be posted on your uni talent hub too. And after that, if you are successful in getting through to that, past that application stage, you are invited to do some testing. This takes about 45 minutes to an hour to complete, and it's nothing that you can prepare for. We do recommend you complete this testing in one sitting, and a disruption-free environment. And it's not designed to trick you or anything. It is just designed to test what your current existing answers, like what you initially come up with. So don't try and, I guess my advice would be, don't try and double check that, don't double guess yourself on the answers. Just think what you would normally put that, and that's what we're looking for. And we do get good feedback that based off the testing, you do get a report, and it shows information about your strengths and weaknesses as well. So it is can be quite an enjoyable experience despite it being testing. And then the next stage is, if you are successful in the testing round, we invite you to a video interview. This is depending on the business unit that you are applying to, the questions will vary. There are about 4 questions, and they're just more around us getting to know a bit about you. So more about motivation, more maybe specific to that business unit or their office location. And that just comes back to that step 1, just do your research, make sure you've read the job description that you've applied for, you've read through our website, and you understand what the role entails, and can speak a bit about your own individual experiences depending on the questions. If you are successful in the video interview stage, you are invited to interview with the business unit that you are going into. These will be held for a majority over Zoom, and these will be held with 2 people from our business unit. Depending on the business unit you are applying to, there will either be 1 interview or 2 interviews. And you will be provided with information in advance with who you're interviewing with. Once again, it's just an opportunity to be yourself, for us to learn more about you to learn more about us, and also for you to showcase why you want to work for us in the future. So that's just a bit about our recruitment process. And if you are successful in that interview, we will contact you in regards to an offer. And we do ask that, given the volume of applications, that you do ensure that you do have all those correct documents, because it can create a delay in your application process if we do have to chase you for that. And also we ask that if you do get through to the testing stage, you do complete that test as soon as possible, so you can, if successful, can progress to the next stage, and then you're more likely, if you are successful, to get an interview sooner. So that's just a bit about our recruitment process and why Deloitte. So obviously, aside from the business unit that you're going into and the role that you carry out, there are a lot of other opportunities beyond your role. We do, and also opportunities for us to invest in your individual performance, and also in supporting you in order to progress throughout your career at the firm as well. So we do review performance every 6 months, including when you are on parental leave. We do provide flexible working options. Appreciate that some of you, when you do come through as a graduate, will be also studying towards your PROS or your chartered accountancy. We do provide options to support with that as well, whether it's flexible working, leave for your study as well. And we also have social club outings and sports teams for you to join. I know that we do have like netball, we have touch, we have football teams, and there's also other groups within Deloitte that you can be part of as well. There's basically something for everyone. So, and that is things that aren't within your business unit, and opportunities for you to network with other people throughout the firm. And we also provide access to a range of offerings to upskill and empower our people. So we provide mentoring, virtual learning sessions, and e-learnings. And even if you've been an employee for a while, we regularly do e-learnings and things, just to ensure that we are keeping up to date with everything that is going on, and always opportunities to upskill. And we also provide study leave, volunteer leave, and cultural leave. Cool. Does anyone have any questions now, either for myself about the recruitment process, or anything about applications, or anything to any of my colleagues who have spoken about their business units? Cool. Okay. So it doesn't seem like there are. Oh, actually, we just had a question. Cool. I've just had a question that come through. So I've been asked, for those who are in the consulting business unit, is having a commerce background necessary? So it depends entirely. So consulting's quite a big business unit within Deloitte. We do have within consulting a lot of different business offerings. If you do visit our website, you can see the different categories that consulting is. We do basically have quite a few categories within consulting that you can apply into, and some will require a commerce background depending on what the role involves, and some won't. So a really good opportunity is to go on the website, see what you do, see what we offer in consulting as well. And I'd also recommend attending the consulting section of our virtual open day tomorrow, where they'll go into more detail about that and about the different business offerings. So that's just a bit about consulting. We do take candidates from a variety of backgrounds for consulting. Cool. Does anyone else have any more questions?
Maybe just to add on that, Samantha,
thank you.
just I guess an example of how the degrees that our team consists of. Like both me and Molly graduated from law. I did a law and criminal justice double degree, so nothing commercial related as well. We have like people who've done sociology degrees, psychology degrees, economics degrees. I think someone did science. So it's very all varied. And again, if you go back to that graduate website where on the consulting part, there's quite a good description of what the different types of work that we do. And if you match your skills and what your background is to those different areas, then you'll be able to understand, okay, even in consulting, maybe I'm more interested in this part of consulting, and tailor your application towards that.
Yeah, and like John said, that him and I both did law, and I did a BCom with my law degree, but him and I are both working in the technology team as well. So you do learn on the job as well. So you do have your degree and you build on that when you go and you start working. Because yeah, I think John and I have both learned a lot of new things on the job. But if there is something that interests you, make sure you reach out, because even though you might not have studied it, you might still be able to go into that role and learn all about it.
Yeah, that's so true. Thank you, Molly, and thank you, John. That's really helpful. And I hope that our students find this helpful as well, because you're so right, Molly, that you do learn a lot on the job. You are building on like the fundamentals of your degree as well. And there are lots of opportunities to upskill as well within the role. But yeah, definitely visit our website. It will provide you with more information. Also, go to that open day tomorrow if you are interested in a career within our consulting team. Does anyone else have any more questions? So I've got a question is, when do you recommend students start applying for internships? As in what point during their degree? Okay, so for our internships, we accept applications for students who are in their second to last year of their studies. So if you're doing a 3-year degree, if it's your second year now, you can apply for our internship that starts at the end of this year, and it goes for 3 months till February, so November till February. If you're in your 3rd year of a 4-year degree, you can apply as well. So it's just basically if you're finishing your studies at the end of next year. So you'd ideally, what we do is you'd come on as an intern this November, and then you'd be with us till February, and then the end goal is to be offered a grad role, which would start the following year in February. So you go back to uni for your final year after your internship, and then start with us as a grad in the following year. But I also do want to acknowledge that if you are in your final year, you haven't done an internship, please don't be worried. We have our grad applications for 2023 for and a lot of people will be in that similar situation. We review applications as a whole, and any work that you've actually done outside of even like the professional services is still relevant. And even if it's just been in retail, hospitality, these are still relevant skills that are transferable into roles here as well. So please don't be discouraged by that. And then I've got a question, what sort of experience looks best on a CV? So yeah, that kind of, I guess, doubles back to what I just said, but a really good question. That if you do have any relevant experience at all in the work sector, anything, any part-time jobs you've done at the same time as uni, any societies you've been part of, any sports teams or anything, just put that all on your CV, because it's all like what makes you you. And we're all interested in like bringing unique and diverse experiences to our team as well. So I'd say put anything on your CV that you think makes you stand out, and it also makes you makes your point of difference. And also I do, because we review a lot of CVs, anything that you think is the most relevant, most recent, please, in terms of your work experience, put it at the top. And please also make sure in terms of your education that it's quite clearly stated when you will be finishing your studies, because that's important for us to know as well, like if you're eligible for our internship program for the right time and our grad program. Appreciate that's what obviously you're applying for, but just wanting to make sure that all those dates add up as well. So that's just a bit about what we look for, and just making it so it's easy to read for us, as we are reviewing a lot. So that's just the main things for CVs. Does anyone else have any questions? Well, it doesn't seem like there's any more questions at this stage. So what I can say is that if you are interested in a role with us, I do recommend applying on the 7th on Monday when our applications do open. And also this weekend or within this next week, taking time to review all your CV, your cover letter and your academic transcript, ensuring that you have everything you need to apply, taking your time when you do your application to ensure there are a few questions that we do ask when you apply, and just ensuring that you are answering those questions, taking time to read through those questions properly, and everything that we have, everything that we need, you've provided us with that helps speed up the process of your application. And if you are wanting to find out more information about us and what we do, definitely do attend our open day tomorrow. It is something great, as I mentioned before. You can put on your cover letter, and also just ensuring when you're doing the testing and you're doing your video interviews, finding a quiet environment to do those, and that it is distraction and disruption free as well. And please don't be discouraged if you don't get through to the next stage. We can't provide verbal feedback for candidates who aren't successful before our interview stage, just due to the volume of it. But please don't be discouraged by this. We do experience a really high volume of applications, but hopefully you get good feedback from your testing as well about your strengths. So I hope that's all really helpful. If you do have any questions that you think of after the session, please come along to our open day tomorrow and feel free to ask them as well. And we also have our presentation tonight with your university. So that's also another opportunity for you to ask any questions that you may have.
Awesome. Hey, thank you very much, Sam and the team. Just having a check to see if we do have any last questions coming in. Doesn't appear so, but as Sam said, if you do have any, please put them through. Thank you very much, Sam and the team. That was fantastic, lots of information, and great hearing firsthand from you graduates too about your experiences. I think that's really, really useful for the students. So I'm sure everybody's got something helpful out of that. So thank you, everybody. That brings the session to an end.